Hello, good morning. Here we are, Monday morning in July. I think it's something like the 14th, no, 13th of July. Okay, so today we're going to do some floor stretching, and later on we're definitely going to need a sturdy chair, and also we're going to need a belt. So let's start off. Oh yes, and you may need a cushion too. So we're going to start off lying on our backs. Now, when you lie on your back, the thing is, if you find that your chin is sticking up too much and your neck is not able to elongate, then just pop something underneath and don't have it touching your shoulders. Make sure it's not in contact with your shoulders. So it's just your head you're lifting, and then you can, from there, tuck your shoulders under. So you're opening your chest. And you can, let's just start off with the knees bent for the moment. Okay, right, from there, let's just take our right knee and we're going to pull it towards us. And we're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Just think about widening across the front of the chest. So it's like you're pinning your shoulders more firmly to the floor. Now, if for you it's a little bit awkward to catch your knee for whatever reason, you can use your belt, especially if you can find it. Yep. You can just use your belt and just pull that knee towards you. So from there, we're going to stretch the left leg. But if you find when you stretch the left leg that it doesn't sit right with you, you can just keep that knee bent. So squeeze the right knee as close as you can, and just let's do a couple of breaths. Tuck your shoulders under. See if you can activate your core, drawing your lower abdomen in towards the spine. Nape of the neck long. Lovely, and we'll change side. So we're hugging our left knee, and just keep that right knee bent to begin with. Bend your right leg just now, Richard. And you can take the knee slightly out to the side and pull it in. Keep your shoulders tucked under. Breathing. So it's an active, very active, because you're actively pinning your shoulders, you're actively broadening across the front of the chin. Straightening that right leg, if that sits nicely with you. If you find that you've got a nicer feeling with your leg bent, just keep your leg bent. Keep that knee pulling it in as much as you can, so it's very active with your arms. Use the strength in your arms to bring that knee forward. Breathing, open the chest. Pin the shoulders down. And release. Okay, great. So from there, we're just going to take the right knee again, and this time take the left arm up, and we're doing a stretch down the left side of the body. Breathing long as you can. Send the heel away, then the fingers up. Now, try not to hollow, so you want to think about your rib cage, let your rib cage connect to the spine. And that way you might need to have your arm out a little bit in order to get the stretch. 3 more breaths. Long, long, long. Stretch, stretch, stretch. More, more, more. Yay, one more breath. Lovely. And release. Nice. Okay, let's change sides. So we're hugging left knee, stretch the right leg, right arm. Keep the shoulder away from the ears. Keep the rib cage connecting to the spine. You may find that on one side your arm doesn't so easily go down, so just make allowances for that. Scoop and hollow in the belly, so this movement's coming from the core. Some of you might find that your heel just floats off the floor just because you're stretching from the core. Scoop and hollow, scoop and hollow. Lovely, and then release. Great. And then we'll just hug both knees to the chest for a moment and see if you can make contact with your lower abdomen with the front of the thighs, with the top of the thighs. Lovely. Now let's put our left foot back down and we're going to just catch around the right thigh and straighten the leg. Now for some people that's not going to be possible, so you can get your belt and put it around the thigh and see if you can straighten your leg wherever that reaches. And we're just going to rotate the foot. Keep your shoulders tucked under. Don't catch too high, so it means you compromise your shoulders. Keep them tucked under, keep broad in the front of the chin. So we're rotating that right foot. And change direction. See if you can rotate from the ankle. That's it. And release. Great. Bringing that foot back down, and we'll catch around that left thigh, either with your hand or with your belt, making sure that our shoulders stay tucked under. And we're rotating that left ankle. So try and get the foot to come down towards your calf, your toes down towards your calf as much as possible. So I suppose if you think about leading from your toes, or your big toe making the circle. Change direction. Lovely, and then release. Okay, right, let's take our belt and we're just going to hold it hip width or slightly wider, and not hip width, well, more shoulder width, or if you know you're a little stiff, then you can have it wider. And we're going to inhale, push our belt up to the ceiling so the shoulders leave the floor, and then drop the shoulders down. Push up and drop down. Push up and drop down. Push up and drop down. Push up. Lovely, and drop down. Good, nice, Hazel. Right, from there we're going to just start to float the belt behind us. Now, before you do that, push your belt as if you're trying to snap the belt in two. Keep pushing the belt as you start to go down. Send your elbows, make sure your elbows are straight. And at some point you'll find that you'll stick, and in which case take a breath. Exhale, stretch a little bit more, drop your shoulders away from the ears. Keep trying to break the belt, so you're pushing against, I mean, not pushing, you're pulling the belt. Send both arms straight. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Keep pulling the belt really tight. Breathing. Now just hold wherever you've reached, and we're going to hold for 10. Keep pulling that belt really tight, really tight, really tight. Lovely, and then just relax. Great, good. You can feel the resistance going on. Now be careful when you do that, that you don't hollow the back, because we want to make sure that we're taking the action into the upper back rather than doing it from the lower back by hollowing. So let's try that again. Now if you find your shoulders got really tight and uncomfortable, just give yourself more belt, more slack. If you find it was fine, then you can come in a bit closer, potentially. Now, if you just watch, this is what not to do. So if I'm in my neutral spine, so don't do that. You see how I'm lifting my back off the floor? Can you see? So that makes it really easy for me to get the belt down, but I've got a great big hollow here. So we want to keep the back ribs on the floor, and then when we go down, you feel it happening right through your internal body. That's it. Exactly, Hazel. It's not so easy, is it? Go wider arms and stretch through your elbows. Richard, watch those ribs. And then when you get to your max position, let's just hold that and pull the belt, like you're trying to pull the belt apart. Let's hold for another 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Good. Okay, just have a little rest, and we'll do that one last time. Bear in mind, if you felt that it was too stressing in your shoulders or arms, just give yourself more slack. And here we go. Check the back ribs are down, shoulders away from the ears. You're broadening across the front of the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Hopefully you'll feel as you do this that you're actually engaging your pelvic floor, which is drawn in and up, in towards the base of the spine. So, and when you feel a bit stuck, you can stretch your arms away, stretch your belt away a little bit more. Keep pulling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count another 5. 1, 2. Straight arms. 3, 4, 5. Great. And release. Nice. Okay. Right. From there, since we're down, we'll do another core work. So hopefully you've all found that core, but we're going to now take our right knee again to the chest, stretch our left leg, and then we're floating up with that left leg and floating down. So as we float, we're using the core muscles. How do you know you're using the core? Because you're not pushing your tummy out. If you find you're lifting by pushing the tummy out, don't do that, because what you're doing is you're bearing down on your pelvic floor. You want to feel the pelvic basin is coming up towards the rib cage. So we're scooping and hollowing, we're tucking our shoulders under. Right, if you find that quite hard work, just keep going. If you find that easy, stop with your leg raised, going out to the side and back in. Exhale, out to the side and in. So you sort of drawing a little arc with your leg. You can have your foot in flexed, yeah. And then one more, lovely, and release. Great. Now, don't worry if that's quite hard for you. You can just try lifting one leg, or if that's too hard for you and it's not happening, you need to bend your knee, and you can just practice taking one foot off the floor. So you can just break the pose down to suit you, and then as you build up, you can straighten the leg, but don't rush to do. If you try and jump a level, then all that happens is you put your muscle in the wrong way, so you train yourself incorrectly. Okay, so we're holding left knee, stretch out with the right leg, and we're going to scoop and hollow, float up the leg and float down, scoop and hollow, scoop and hollow. Draw that belly in, Richard, in and up, shoulders tucked under. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. It should be a nice slow rise up, slow rise down, so we're not flinging the leg up. Now if that's a bit hard for you, you can bend your foot and just lift up. See if you can just get your foot a few inches off the floor using your core, so don't be in a rush to do a straight leg. But if you're finding straight leg fine, carry on with that. If you want to go up the next level, we're going to stop halfway up, exhale, out to the side, inhale back, exhale, out to the side, inhale back, out to the side, inhale back. Keep your scoop, very nice. Let's do 4 more. Lovely, and then release, and then we'll just have a stretch. Great, and then from there, we're going to roll onto our side. And you'll need to have your cushion or whatever. I'm going to use my bolster in front of you because we'll need that. And you can also have a cushion for you to put under your arm. So we're going to do some side stretches. I'll move that for the moment so you can see. And what we're going to do is lie on I'm on my left side, and we're stretching with the left arm. You want to have it as much as you can in a line with your shoulder, and the shoulder in line with the hips. And this is where you can get a cushion to put underneath your ears, so it means that it helps you to lie in a better position. So don't think you're being wet by using a cushion. Actually, it's helping you get a better alignment. Now, have a wee look down at your feet, and we want to just bring our feet slightly forward, because we want to make sure that we're not doing a hollow, we're not making a banana shape with the spine. So we want to slightly hinge at the tops of the legs. Now the next thing to think about is lifting the lower waist. So just use your hand and see if you've got space. If you're not skinny, then you may still feel that your body's there, but you want to get a feeling of the body lifting up from your fingers rather than pushing down to your fingers. All right, so everyone feel that lifting up. So that you'll notice then that your lower abdomen starts to draw in and up, and then from there we're just going to float the right leg up, and then when it's up, stop, and then kick it forward, bring it back, float up, kick forward, and now keep going. If that's hard for you to do, then you can bend your bottom knee and don't worry about the kick forward. You can just come up and down. So the kick forward is an extra, but it's easier to do if your bottom knee is bent. Keep that waist, keep that gap under your lower waist. Now just until that, don't do it so fast because then you're not really getting the benefit. So you want to really scoop and hollow. All this area here, you should feel drawing in and up. I'm losing the track of my lifts. Up, down, forward. Now those of you that are got super core can lift both legs off the floor and just do a few up, down, forward, up, down, forward. And again, you can either use the floor or some of you can do it freestyle. Keep on your side, Richard. Are you still on your side yet? I think it's just the angle actually. No, it isn't. Yeah. Up. And 4 more. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and relax. So you probably feel that in the thigh end. Okay, now from there we're going to bend the knees. So your heels are kind of in line with your bottom. Now I want you to imagine that you're going to squeeze your heels together, and as you do, your knees come apart. So it's not really a case of opening the knees, it's more a case of squeezing the heels. And if you do that, you want to feel the same lifting of that lower waist. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze and squeeze. Now as you squeeze, the more you can get that scoop and hollow in your belly, so you can get that feeling. Then we're really toning up these core muscles, shoulders away from the ears. You can have the hand on the floor to stabilize you just as you need. Let's do 5 more. 1, 1. Squeeze the heels, Richard. Take your heels slightly back behind you, actually. Yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Lovely. And then just relax. Okay, so we'll get our cushion or something in front of us. Ideally, you want it to be the same height as your hip. Well, in this case, you're bringing, hope you can see what I'm doing. You're bringing your right knee forward. So we're going to work the left leg. That's nice, yeah. And then again, get our lift through that lower back. The lower waist, feel that lift. Stretch that straight leg, and off we go. 1, 1, 2, 2. Keep the scoop. 3, 3, 4. So we're lifting the bottom leg. Our top leg is resting. The top leg is resting on something. It's the bottom leg that we're working. The left leg, or the side that you're lying on. So I think you've got the, which way are you facing, Jacinda? Yeah, I think you've got the wrong leg. So you want to get the top leg resting, and it's the leg underneath that we're stretching. That's it. Okay, and then if you're happy, once you're happy with that, if you like, you can do some circles. But otherwise, just keep going up and down. It's harder work to do the circles and keep your legs straight. and keep that lower waist lifting. Shoulders away from the ears. Lovely, nice switch. Okay, and change direction of your circles if you're doing circles. Otherwise, you can just carry on with your straight leg. So feel that in the inner thigh. Yeah? Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it, lovely. Straight, lift your knee as well. Good, lovely, and then release. Right, before we leave that side, I'm just going to do one more. So we're going to bend our knees again, take the heels back, lift that lower waist, and then just float your top leg up and flex your heel. So your knees are parallel, so your knees not sticking up to the ceiling, your knees pointing forward. You're a bit high there, Jacinta. Drop the knee a little bit. No, the other way, yeah. Okay, and then I want you to imagine there's a spring on your heel and you're pushing against the spring, but then it pushes back. So you're pushing against the spring and it pushes back. So you want to feel kind of resistance in your leg. And additionally, as you push away, just allow your foot to slightly rotate down towards the floor. Exhale, in, exhale. Richard, keep your leg, no, Richard, you're just pushing the leg, straightening the leg and then bending it again. Straighten and bend. And as you straighten, imagine you're pushing against something like a spring and you get so far and then the spring wins and it pushes you back, but then you get your strength and you push it away and then it's pushing you back. So hold that resistance in your leg as you work. Rotate your toes slightly towards the floor. Let's do 3 more. 1, 1. Keep that waist lifting. Shoulders away from the ear. And I think that was 2, so 3. Great. And release. Good. So you should feel that in the glute muscle and just slightly below. Yeah, okay. So just have a little recover for a moment. So we're going to go to the other side. So I'll turn away from you, then it might be easier for you to see from the other side. So obviously you better not turn away, otherwise you won't be able to see. So we're lying this time I'm lying on my right side. I've got my right arm straight, in a straight line with my shoulders. I'm using something under my ear. I'm just making sure that my heels aren't back, so I'm not making a big hollow. So I want to hinge at the tops of the legs and bring my feet slightly forward. So when I look down, I can see my feet. Lifting that lower waist, shoulders away from the ears, and we're floating up. Those of you that can float with both legs off the floor. If you find that quite hard to maintain, bend the front knee and do your floating with a bent knee. So keep that going, but if you are finding it okay, then you can add a kick forward. Up and kick forward. If you can do that with both legs lifted, then great. Use your hand on the floor if you need, and if you can do that without using the hand support, then that's even better. Well, it's not about better or worse, it's about challenging yourself at the level that gives you the ability to keep your muscles correctly activated, correctly fired, and also give you a little bit of a challenge. Let's do 3 more. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Lovely. And then just relax. And then we're going to bend the knees. So the heel is just a little, so if you imagine the line down from your bottom, the heels are just a little bit in front of that. So you don't want your heels there, you want them there. Lift that lower waist again, squeeze the heels together. We're opening the knees. Feel that, keep that lower waist lifting. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the heels, let the knees, so the knees, you just allow them to open. You might feel that in the waist as well. 4 more. 1, 1. Keep that lower waist lifting. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Great, and then just relax. So we're putting our raise now in front of us, so whatever you were using. So ideally you want your knee to be in line with the hip, your ankle to be in line with the knee at a right angle, and you'd like to get your knee high enough so it's pretty much in line on the same plane as your hip. We're stretching that bottom leg, we're lifting that lower waist, and off we go. If we can float the arm. Shoulders away from the ears. Long leg, long, long, long leg. As we lift, can you get even longer? Keep that waist lifting, shoulders away from the ears. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, scoop and hollow. 4, last one, 5. Good. Okay, so before we leave it there, we're going to bend the knees again. Again, have the knees far enough back. Don't have your knees too close to your chest. So you're making a bit of a slope, 145-degree angle, something like that. And then from there, lifting the waist again, opening the chest. Just float your top leg up, so everything's parallel. So your knees not pointing up there, your knees still pointing in front of you. And then we're going to flex the heel. So just imagine there's a spring on your heel, and exhale, you're pushing against the spring. Then the spring wins and it starts to push you back, but you resist and push against it. At the same time, as you exhale, just rotate your toes slightly down towards the floor. Keep that waist lifted. Off we go. That little rotation in the foot is quite important to get that. You may not feel anything for a few breaths. That lower waist lifting. Well, let's do 10 more. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Lovely. And then just relax. Hopefully this is where we're targeting the buttock muscle. And then from there we're just going to roll into our tummies and just have a little rest for a moment. So you can stack your hands, or you can use your cushion, whichever works. Now, ideally, if you have you support your forehead so you're looking down, but if that's not going to work, then you can just take your head to one side. So let's just take a moment to think about relaxing the body and noticing as you breathe in how your belly swells on that inhalation. Have your feet hip distance and be on the tops of your feet, so if you can. For some people that's quite hard to do, so what you can do is you can put something under your feet like that, so then you can actually get the tops of your feet. You want to be on the front, I don't know what to call them, the tops of your feet, yeah? So if you find that just propping up your heels enables you to get your feet in the right position, then do that. Okay, so we're going to just think about as we breathe in how we push the belly into the floor, and as we exhale how we lift the belly. Lovely. And now taking your belt, just catch it behind your back. Now again, have it wide, nice and wide. So you may need it to have it wider than shoulders. But if it's comfortable at shoulder height, then that's good. Keep it at shoulder height. So first of all, think about these shoulders. Don't roll them down. You want to roll them back and down. So, and then stretch through your belt. Okay. So if you find that if your belt's too tight, you can't get that rotation in your shoulders, give yourself more belt. So you want to get that rotating action in the shoulder. And then exhale so you can lift up your legs as well. So we're doing, this time we are doing that banana pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Send that belt away. Breathing. 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 Lovely. See if you can hold for a couple more breaths. And then relax down. And then if you were having your head to one side, then just change the side. And let's just relax the breath for a moment, feeling how as you breathe in, your belly pushes into the floor and retracts on the exhalation. See if you can get a feeling of softening through the front of your feet, where if they're on the mat or on your raise. Try and get a sense of allowing the feet to sink and drop down. It's almost like you're melting them into wherever they're contacting. Right, let's just try that again. So make the adjustment you need with the belt to have it tighter or wider. And we're going to roll our shoulders back and down and stretch through the arms. If we find that we can't get that rotation in the shoulder, then give yourself more rope. But if you find that you can come in closer. And then we're lifting up the legs, pushing away the hands, squeeze the shoulders together, breathing. Lovely, and then just relax. And just take a moment, change the way you had your head again. And we're just going to notice as we breathe in how the belly fills the floor, pushes into the floor. Relaxing through the front of your feet. You get the feeling of your feet just softening and melting into wherever they are making contact. If you do that with your feet, then you're doing it with your legs. You do it with your legs, you're doing it with your pelvis. So if you can let that happen in your feet, it can spread up through your body. See if you can get a feeling of melting the front of the thighs into your mat. And then the melting your belly into your mat. Lovely. Now, if you felt that you just need to rest a bit more, then you can sit this one out. But otherwise, just you've got your chair in front of you, and you're going to reach up for the chair. Now, if you find that the seat of the chair feels a bit high, you could catch around the legs of the chair. But we can all start low, in fact, and then push the chair away and take your shoulders back. So don't do it like this. Can you see? Do it like that. So I'm actually squeezing my shoulder blades together and I'm broadening across the front of the chest. So slightly push against the chair to help you get a little bit higher. But this action needs to come in the upper body. Don't go so high to begin with, Hazel. Let's see you. I want to make sure that you're opening your chest, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, bring your chair a little bit closer, Jacinta. So you can bring your chair a little bit closer now, push, see if you, now you can go a little higher. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. Relaxing the front of the legs, keep the legs soft. Yeah, bring your chair even closer, Jacinta, or you go closer to it if you're, yeah. And then if you take your hands on the seat of the chair, if that was all right, then that'll take you, so you're just doing a supported cobra. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. Yeah, do you know what, Hazel, just stay with where you had your hands. That was a better position. Yeah. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Lovely, and then release. Great, and then we'll take the hands to, take the head to the other side again, and just relax again. See if you can get that feeling of melting the belly into the floor. Well, no, not so much melting it. When you breathe in, just notice how your belly pushes more into your mat. But thinking about the front of your feet, can you get that feeling of softening through the front of the feet? So they expand and sink. So it's like a kind of melting feeling in the tops of your feet. And then see if you can get the same feeling in the front of your thighs So you're allowing the thighs just to draw into the mat, like melting into the mat. Breathe. Lovely. Okay, so from there we're going to we're going to lie on our back. So if just go on your backs, we're going to put our feet up on the chair. If you have trouble getting into that movement, if you roll onto one side first and then just bring your knees up, and once you've got your knees up, then you can it's easier for you to come into draw your knees up towards your tummy, and then rotate onto your side so that you can use your hands to work yourself up into sitting. But yeah, use your hands, really use your strength in your arms. Take a breath in, exhale, push your hands into the floor. So give yourself let your arms help you with that movement. And then, you know, you can actually just take your hand onto your foot, get your foot round if that's what you need to do. You can take your other hand on your knee and put your knee in the position. So use the strength in your arms and your core to help you if mobility and moving from one pose to the other is a bit of an issue for you. Okay, so from there we're going to bring our feet up onto our chair. And using something under our head if we need. So bring the chair towards you and see if you can catch around the legs of the chair. And then we're going to push the feet. Actually, don't put something under your head. I've made a mistake. Check you've got nothing under your head, and then see if we can just get into this supported shoulder stand. You may need to have the chair further away to decrease the angle, but obviously it's a question of not slipping. And then if you can, lift one leg up. So you want the chest, the sternum coming to the chin. And down, and lifting up with the other leg. So you might need to come in a little bit closer if you're finding that awkward. You can shiggle in closer. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, just have the arms out to the side, and that enables you to get your tuck. Okay, and then take that leg down. Let's change leg. So both feet on something, and we're tucking the shoulders under and lift up. Now, if you can, get your hands under your back, then you can try lifting both legs up, but don't worry if that's not happening. So both legs up. Now, if you're finding that quite challenging, then what you could potentially do, you may need to come in closer to give yourself more pivot, or you may need to come further away. So try it further away and just see if you can lift your bottom and then back down again. Lift your bottom and back down. If you're already up, like, you can do some variations, just do them on your own. Here you can do one leg down. So that's it. Lift the bottom, good, and down. Lift the bottom and down. Lovely. Now we're really tucking, rolling our shoulders back and down. So make sure we've got nothing under our head. And then if you can get up, see if you can get up a little bit higher. Hold for a moment and then roll down again. Lovely. And roll down again, beautiful. Have the arms quite far out to the side because that means that you're not constricting your shoulder. And again, see if you can just lift your bottom. Lovely. Lift and down, rolling down again. Lovely. And again, lift the bottom. If you find that okay, use your feet pushing into something to lift your bottom a little bit higher. Hold for a moment. And then rolling down. So we're rolling down from the upper back, mid back, and tailbone. Lovely. Right. Okay. So everyone, if you're rolling down now, and have your calves back onto your chair so you're supported. And we're going to bring that right ankle in front of the left knee. So we're getting our glute stretch. If nothing's happening for you, then sugar in. And this is where you do need your, if you need something under your head, bring it back. Now, you can't catch your arm, but I want you to actually keep your lovely open chest. So in that way, if you use the chair instead of your arm, then it helps to keep you nice and aligned. You can pull your chair towards you if your body can tolerate it, and that is the same as pulling your knee towards you because it's bringing your knee forward. Okay, let's just relax into this Ujjayi breath. We breathe in through the front of the nose and out through the front of the throat. Well, obviously we breathe in and out through the nose, but as if we were breathing in and out through the front of the throat. And if you can imagine your navel, your belly button here and the pubic bone there, you want to think about lifting the belly button in the direction of the pubic bone. Rather, don't let the pubic bone come higher and roll towards the navel. You want to do it that way. If that makes sense. And that way you'll feel it a little more strongly. So just pull your chair in or sugar in just as whatever you need in order to get a lovely action in that right glute. Yeah, if it's too strong for you, then just go further away, move further away from your chair. Lovely, and then let's change side. So, for some people, if they have their chair quite far away, they're going to get something happening. That's great, because as long as something's happening, you're doing it. But for some people, if they don't have the chair closer, they're not going to feel anything. So they're not getting the release in the glute. So in that case, that's when you need to bring your chair closer. And again, get a feeling of that navel rolling towards the pubic bone rather than the other way. Tuck the shoulders under. Breathe in. Nice. And then from there, let's put our legs back on our chair We're just going to let the knees fall away from the feet are a little bit closer than the knees. And we're going to use something under our head if we find that helps. And let's just take a moment to relax. So notice your breathing, allow it to just return to normal breath. You may find if you bring your hands on your belly, as you breathe in, your belly swells into your hands. And as you exhale, sinking away. Seeing how much you can just allow the weight of your trunk to just move down towards your mat and the weight of your pelvis to drop to your mat. You can bring your arms out to the side eventually, letting your fingers curl. Lovely, and then just take a deep breath. Bringing our knees in to our chest, just allow them to drop over to the right hand side. If you find that they're not quite going to the floor, you can have a pillow handy, a bolster or something. Let's just have a little stretch that way. Breathing. And then bring your feet back onto your chair and just swap the bolster around to the other side. Bringing your knees forward and taking your knees now to the left to land on your bolster. That's it, Richard, lovely. Just take a moment to relax into that position. Noticing how the breath fills your belly on the inhalation, sinking on the exhalation. Lovely. Okay, and then bring your feet back on the chair again, and then roll over this time, but without anything there. So let the momentum of I mean, if you can come up without a problem, just come up. But if those of you that have problems coming up, as you roll over, let the momentum of your knees take you so that your side comes as well. Can you see that? So you're bringing the knees into your chest, and as you let the knees go over, don't dissociate. So you want to also bring your ribs. Once you're on your side, it's so much easier, and then you've got to use the strength in your arms. So you take a breath in, exhale, push with your arms. So you're using the strength in your arms to get up. And then again, use the strength in your arms to bring yourself forward. That's it, lovely. And then if you need a chair, make sure you've got your chair in order to give you that little ability to get round again. As I say, you may need, if you have mobility issues with changing from one position to the other, you can also have 2 chairs there. Lovely. And then finding ourselves in a nice sitting position. Taking a few moments to center. Lovely, thank you.